Cut it, please. It's my dad's favorite. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, so thank you for joining us at 5:55. I'm Stormy 41 meteorologist, joining you live from the Stormy 41 Weather Center. Notable things to talk about here: severe storms possible tomorrow, but the main day does seem to be contained on Monday. So right now we do have a confirmed tornado warning on the ground here. Right now, pretty weak tornado, but again, not really indicating in much of way of serious damage. But this is a observed tornado warning still on the ground here. Getting ready to move there into Shanita. They're in Essex. But the main thing, if you're joining us here from our Stormy 41 group chat or anywhere across the nation, the severe weather pattern has been starting to pick up lately, and what we have right now is, I'm going to go here to this here and show you what we're looking at for Monday. Monday does seem to be a pretty good shot for severe weather. Basically, going in here tighter to where most of these storms would be, you see we have this 15% chance there for severe storms there in that darkish orangish color there on your screen. Whoa. And then we have this yellow color there that would include parts of like Evansville, Indiana, Madisonville, Kentucky, Greenville, Kentucky. They're under that 15% chance for severe weather on Monday. This does seem to be a possible major weather outbreak here. I'm going to transition screens here. I'm going to just cut this here so you don't get to see any of the behind the scenes that I do. So I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to hide this here. You'll see a black screen here for just a second. Actually, I'm going to do this. Turn my... Alright, I'm going to be right back here while I get this loaded up. Okay, here we go. Turn off my studio mode. Okay, so here I'm going to go over here, the model runs here that we're looking at for Monday. They are starting to come in. The new model runs are starting to come in. There you see they're at 84% done. So we're going to get some new fresh data and see what we're actually expecting on Monday. Thankfully, most of the severe action will be staying in the northern part. If you live there in sort of the tri-state area there, Evansville, most of the severe action does be staying to your north. But again, we cannot rule out the chance for an isolated spin-up tornado or a severe thunderstorm to be issued. But thankfully, this does show most of that severe action staying to your north. But one thing that I'm also watching closely is really nothing. Really, we are going to have a major drought right now. We have major fire weather off in our south of the country near Georgia and Alabama right now, but that's really not going to affect this area. But if we need to break this drought significantly, this drought will get worse if it does not happen here. But with these storms, this is glitching out a little bit. And then I would like it to. With these storms, definitely we could break that drought, especially in these rural areas that need rain. Definitely could see about an inch after this whole thing is said and done. Maybe even more spots there. 3 inches there, just to the west of Indianapolis. But again, we are going to see this rainfall move in here again on Monday. The best chance for severe weather north of Interstate 64. That would be north of the Ohio River, basically. Best setup for severe thunderstorms. One thing that I'm going to look at here, we have more time here on the YouTube streams, is we look at CAPE. CAPE is basically the shear or energy in the atmosphere for storms to depend with. And definitely have a lot of that, especially on Monday. I checked this earlier, and it did show a lot of CAPE or energy for these storms to depend with, and that is not a good thing. But one thing that we're going to depend on here, I'll get to that tornado warning here in just a second, but one thing that we're going to depend on here, wait for that. Okay, I don't know if you could hear that, but there's alarms going off there from weather-wise. But one thing that we're going to look at here for the in way of CAPE or shear, the atmosphere, is we're going to look at this CAPE model. So we really expect these storms to move in overnight Monday. So again, really most of the CAPE or the best setup definitely could be in parts of Missouri where we have that most of that CAPE. But one thing that we're going to depend on here is the cap. Is this cap going to hold? Will this cap break? And if that cap does break, then we have the chance for numerous severe thunderstorms to fire, especially where we have the best setup. But by the time this whole thing is said and done, it probably will weaken significantly, where we have the best setup for CAPE off to the west, and then once these storms hit Indiana, then that CAPE really starts to come back down, and we lose energy within these storms. One thing that I'm going to look for here would be vorticity. This is basically wind, practically. Well, here, I think I'm looking at the wrong one here. So temperature-wise, definitely going to be another heat wave here. It's going to be crazy temperatures here, especially there on your screen. Definitely major temperatures there. Mine's in Fahrenheit. I guess my computer likes yours better. But, sorry, I was talking to someone in my live stream. Here we go. Here's another alarm. Okay, I'm going to mute that so you don't hear it. I know it's annoying for me too. Okay. So, right now, the best setup, again, it does seem to be off to the west of Indiana, or if these storms do really want to form into a squall line, then I think the best setup is, again, still north of the Ohio River. But again, the whole areas affected by these storms could, again, still see some severe weather, especially where that cap breaks. If that cap breaks anywhere, then we're in trouble significantly. So going here to precipitation, future radar, future tracker. Monday, again, is a Storm Team 41 alert day for the chance for numerous severe thunderstorms possible. Monday does really show, thankfully, well, it doesn't really matter, but some of these models are picking up on these storms actually firing on Tuesday. This would be the future tracker model. This would be the radar or the composite radar, but the SLP and precipitation shows the same thing. So we really don't know what to depend off of. Do we want these storms to happen on Tuesday or Monday? The best setup again now is starting to show Tuesday, early in the morning hours, around 1 a.m. possibly there on your screen. So again, definitely, sorry. Definitely going to be another major severe weather outbreak if the cap breaks. That's really what we're going to depend off here. Of course, we've had several events where we've had these events and it doesn't form the way we want it to form, or it doesn't form the way we forecasted it. That is because the cap. I'm always going to talk about the cap. The cap is basically a lid. It's a lid that controls the atmosphere. So a cap is when you have warm air up in the atmosphere that's producing those storms from actually firing or producing tornadoes. And then when you have a sector here, well, I'll just show you what I mean on a sounding. When we know a cap is breaking is when we have sort of these 2 points. They go sharp. It's sort of like this, but it would be way down here. But this is a sounding here. This is basically just another way that we look at for when we have severe potential. And when these storms move into I took a sounding there for Evansville, Indiana. It does show the potential hazard type as a marginal severe threat. So it definitely could be something forming there. But just some behind the scenes here. The CAPE pretty high there. I'm sitting at 394 there for CAPE levels. But again, we're not really expecting the cap to break. The Storm Prediction Center says that cap could definitely break in places, but it's not going to happen exactly everywhere across the nation where these storms are expected to fire. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and check our chat here. Hopefully we're doing okay with audio and everything. Says that cap could definitely break in places, but it's not going to happen exactly everywhere across the nation where these storms are. I do know that you're not able to pause or rewind. That is on purpose. It is because I want you to watch live instead of you watching old data. You can pause it, but it's definitely not gonna let you rewind at all. So again, I'm sorry for that. I just had to set that there so you're watching me live instead of you actually watching me talking about 5 minutes ago. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream here. Again, Monday, I will be live tomorrow if we do have any more updates. But thank you for joining us at 5:45. And thank you for joining us at 5:45. I'll see you here again tomorrow around this time for another